All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. We have Marko back on the channel.
Hello.
So I hope everyone is doing well. We have planned a bit of a Q&A for you guys. So you probably saw Marko put on his Instagram for you guys to put, ask any questions you like on his Instagram. And I did the same on mine. So we have a list of questions on our phones. So we're going to go through as many as we can in 30 minutes. And then we're going to move on to the forecast and trade recap aspect of the video. So yeah, we'll probably be doing this every single recap and forecast session. So in the beginning of the session, we'll be just doing a Q&A, just so that we can, be more interactive with you guys with any questions you guys have. Shall we start with the first question?
Yeah, let's start.
Let's start. So the first question's from Arjun, I think. He's asking, how do you manage checking every hour at night? When do you sleep?
Never.
Never. Never. So if you guys don't know, we both trade the guerrilla trading strategy, and with the strategy, you need to check the top of every hour with the charts. I can see what Arjun is saying. So Marko, what do you think about what he's asking?
Well, my process is I check it each hour during the day, and then I go to sleep at 1 a.m. in the morning, and then I wake up once per night, which is usually at I would say it's at 4 a.m. and then I sleep through until 8 a.m. in the morning. So that's about 7 to 8 hours of sleep. And I wake up just once during the night. And then I check the charts. So for me, that works. I did try to wake up every 2 hours and it was awful. I just could not get quality sleep. But once per night, I got used to it. And now it's just part of the process. So that's how I do it.
Yeah, which is good. You get the 7 hours of sleep, which is like enough for the body. And I actually did research, and apparently your body does wake up at the middle of the night without you knowing. So
Yep.
when I read that, waking up once in the middle of the night is not that compromising to your health. Because for me, I was thinking, if I wake up at the middle of the night, isn't that really bad for your health? But waking up once is completely fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the way I do it is that I check the charts every top of the hour, and then probably around 10:30 p.m. I'll just do a quick nighttime forecast. So I just see what's happening in the market. If it's completely range bound, then I might set an alarm at 2:55 a.m. Even then, sometimes I may not check, just because I know nothing's going to happen. Just like with these trading conditions this week, like AU, if I'm not mistaken, was just in a huge range. So I knew I could get my sleep with that pair in particular.
Yeah.
But if I am forecasting, when I am forecasting at 10:30 and I do see something potentially setting up, I would set my alarm based on that. So sometimes it might be 1:55, sometimes it might be 2:55, sometimes it might be 3:55. But I wouldn't wake up every single hour of every single night. I personally can't do it. Like, I need my sleep.
Yeah, for sure. And I would agree with you. When there's a setup forming, I will wake up every hour. But that is usually once in 2 weeks when that sort of situation happens. It's very, very rare. So usually,
very rare.
Yeah, usually once per night, that's enough for me. I tend to catch most of the setups, and I would recommend for other folks to do that also.
Yeah.
What do you do when the market's slow and the conditions change? So that's from Gershon, and I believe it's a question about what do you do when there is a range-bound market. So what's your take? Yeah.
So in terms of executing trades, I'd probably be staying out of the market, and that would probably be the time for me to backtest even more. So also, as we discussed in the previous question, we check the charts anyway at the top of every hour. So we wouldn't be spending a lot of time executing trades anyway. It would be anyway more time back testing. So just keep back testing. I might be recording more videos for YouTube. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. What about you, Marko?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. So when the markets are slow and when there's nothing to do, I just tend to get my focus on backtesting and researching the markets, also doing YouTube and doing other hobbies, other passions. You need to have some other things that interest you when the markets are slow, because otherwise you will just take valid trades and you will take a lot of losses. So you need to get your mind off of the charts when the conditions are not right.
What do you like to do in your free time? It's probably
So,
just something I wanted to ask you.
yeah, so in my free time, I do like to go to the gym and go for a swim,
Yeah, same.
stuff like that. So do some physical activities, also maybe go out with friends. And I will start going to the shooting range, so with guns and stuff. So that's one of the things I wanted to get into in the last couple of years, and now I finally got the documents needed. So that's awesome. So what do you do in your free time when you're not trading?
So my free time, besides back testing, recording videos, like my goal-oriented things, I like to go to the gym, spend time with my girl, spend time with family. I
Yeah.
like to, what else? Like watching a lot of football. I'm trying to get the new PS5 to play some FIFA, but it's really hard to find a PS5 in stock because of what's happening in the world. But yeah, that's what I like to do.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I want to start getting into boxing and golf. Boxing and golf.
Yeah, I always wanted to try golfing, but never had the opportunity. Maybe in the future. Yeah.
In the future. In the future.
Yeah, yeah. I like the little cars that you can drive in.
Oh, the golf carts.
Yeah, the golf carts. Yeah.
I don't think that's the main part of golf. Rusham JD81. Is your strategy giving you consistent profit, or are you still struggling? It's an interesting question. So what's your take on the question of Marko?
So for me personally, when you look at it in a yearly basis, it is giving me consistency. But when you look at it on a monthly basis, there can be some really bad months, I would say. And during those months, you do struggle. But if you push through it, and if you look at it on a yearly basis, when you combine all of the months, then you are very highly profitable. But again, some months you can be down. So for this month, I'm down, I think, 4%. But in the last month, I made 18%. So when you combine the two, net profit is what, 14%. But yeah, there can be some really tough periods. So what's your opinion?
Yeah, I think like I'm at the same stage as you, where on a yearly basis through back testing and like right now in my trading performance, I'm profitable on an overall yearly basis, but I'm still not at a stage where I'm making, like I don't have a track record yet of 12 months of consistent live profits of like percentage making month on month on month. As you said, like there are losing months and I'm still at that stage. But if you see Joshua Bunker, he's profitable this month. Like obviously he's trading, I think 8 pairs, but still he's profitable this month. And for the pairs I'm trading and comparing those pairs to him, he's I think only taken 1 or 2 losses. And he took that EJ trade as well. So maybe even break even. I'm down 5%. Right. So if you compare the two, right, he has that edge where, you know, that experience you can kind of see in his results. So yeah, on a yearly basis, I'm profitable, but still month on month, I can't say that I am, like in complete honesty. But yeah, like last month it was 33%. Right now I'm -5%. Yep, there's like a couple of days left, but you know,
Yeah.
realistically, I don't see anything happening. If it does, beautiful. Like I know I
Yeah.
won't complain, but
Yeah.
uh yeah, still a gap, still much more learning to do.
Yes, we are kind of the same. Some months we are doing really, really good, and then some months can be bad. But when you combine it all, we are highly profitable. So
Yeah,
let's
100%.
let's move on.
100%.
So Frano Knego asked, "Where are you from?" That's my friend from
Okay.
Zagreb.
Oh, nice.
So he asks where are we from and that he's a big fan. So I'm from Croatia, from the main city Zagreb, and yeah, it's awesome here. I love being in Croatia. You have the seaside is very near. You have the mountains to go skiing, so it's the perfect place to live for me. And where are you from, Ishan?
So ethnicity rise, I'm from Sri Lanka. So it's like that mini island below India. That little dot you see,
Yeah.
that's Sri Lanka. Yeah. But yeah, I don't have like the Sri Lankan accent because I kind of grew up part of my life early on in Australia.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I moved back to Sri Lanka. And then I went to the UK study and now I'm back here in Australia. So yeah. But I'm Sri Lankan. I am.
Mm-hmm. And where do you like it the best? In UK, in Australia, or in your home country?
So I feel at home in Australia, I won't lie.
Mm-hmm.
But Sri Lanka, like they have beautiful beaches. So
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah, yeah,
And the weather's amazing. So on a holiday, I would go to Sri Lanka, but to live, I think I'd take Australia,
yeah, for sure,
100%.
for sure.
I have to visit Croatia and you have to visit Sri Lanka and Australia.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
We'll do it. We'll have a vlog series maybe when I
Yeah,
come to
we'll have a
Croatia
we'll
and you
have a
come here.
vlog. Yeah, and Edmund can also
Oh
come.
yeah. Henry can come.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not every strategy helps you to pass the prop fund? Is risk to reward more important than strategy? All right. Interesting question.
Yeah. So I would say that every strategy that you see online, I think you are able to pass the challenge, but it depends on what month you take it. As I just said, as we just discussed, some months you will definitely not make the 10%, and some months you will make maybe 20 or 30%. So I would just say stick to it, keep taking the challenges, and then you will get that winning month where you will be able to pass it. But it is just unrealistic to expect to pass it and to get 10% every single month. That's just not going to happen, especially if you're a beginner. So you need to wait for that 10% month to happen with any strategy.
Yeah. And in terms of risk management, do you think like that's separate to the strategy? Is it like part of it? Is it as important? What's your take on that? Because I think he was also asking about risk management as well.
Oh yeah. So well, I do prefer having a lower win rate and a higher risk to reward. And I believe that the risk to reward is the most important part of the strategy. So having a high risk to reward, maybe when you win, you get 5 or 10%, and when you lose only 1%. That's the most important part. Because the most of the traders that are losing money are trading like with a win rate of a 90% and the risk to reward of that's very, very poor, and that's no way to make money. You need to have a high risk to reward ratio to make money. It's just the reality.
Yeah. I agree with that. Like you should understand that you shouldn't be risking 1% and to gain just 0.5%. That's a bad risk to reward kind of metric. A 1:3 is good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't, for me personally, I wouldn't focus too much on that. Yes, he should have a good risk reward ratio. But as Marcus says, you can find any strategy on YouTube, anywhere, and I'm sure it is profitable. But don't just be like, okay, this is a strategy. I'm going to take a challenge. like back test it, see, get the data showing that you can make percentage, and then, live trade it for, 4 or 6 months and be profitable and then take it. Then you have the confidence. So
Yeah,
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 risk management is very key in your strategy.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you need to put in the work. You need to backtest, and you need to
Oh yeah,
backtest a lot.
see, that's the strenuous part. And with back testing, you can click, 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 and not be, you just want to get through the data, but you need to treat it with a lot of respect. Be like, okay, one candle, one candle, one candle, because you need to try your best to mimic the live markets. So
Yeah,
I think that's what Marko and I both experienced. We've gone through it all with the back testing.
yeah. It can be tough, but you need to push through it. And once you finish it, you will be very, very happy. So yeah. So Trader Edmund asks, what do you struggle with the most when it comes to trading?
Ooh, Trader Edmund.
Yeah, Trader.
What do I struggle with the most? Okay. I think recently, well, this month isn't the best example, but I think one problem I experienced last month was that with the winners, I got very emotional. I'm like, yeah, I won. I felt good about it. But with the losses, I'm just like, it's a loss. It's fine. It's chill. Like on the downside, when losers come, I've become quite good. Like I can feed off a loss. It's part of trading, right? But when I win, I'm just like, yeah,
Yeah.
get that 10 on trade. But trading is one where it's a thing where you need to feel emotionless on both sides.
Yep. Yep.
Because if I feel too good about a trade, then I'm just gonna, maybe overtrade. That could easily happen. I might take more valid trades. So yeah, I think I need to become more dead inside to be a better trader.
You need to gain the experience. You need to trade. You need to backtest. You need to go through the process for at least a couple of years, and then all of the issues will get resolved naturally. So yeah.
Yeah, with I think this part of my trading is not even as much backtesting. I think this is just prop trading experience, live market experience that
Yeah.
some things you can't learn in backtesting. Like that's just the reality. So
Yeah. Totally agree
so
with that.
yeah, I think
Yeah, that's so true, for sure.
yeah, learning on the job,
Yeah.
learning on the
Yeah.
job, on the job trading.
Yeah. And for me, I would say the biggest struggle is getting through these quiet months. Now we have seen 4 weeks of absolutely no good trades,
Yeah, it's
and
been
that's really
dead.
tough. That can be really, really tough. And you want to get in on the market. You're thinking about when will I get the winning trades? Like I need to make some money, and that's the toughest thing for me, getting through these shit months.
Yeah, I do agree. And it's really freaking annoying because the one trade that was a winner, he made like 1% EJ. Was a
Yeah.
funny story. I have my Apple Watch on my wrist and I have the alarm. For some reason, I woke up at 7 a.m., which I was supposed to wake up at like 2:55. And the watch came off my hand. And it was like on the floor. So I got really pissed. But
Yeah.
yeah, it is what it is. It happens.
What happened? It unbuckled.
Yeah.
It unbuckled from the wrist, or
It unbuckled. I probably
oh
didn't put it tight enough on my wrist.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
some EJ
Really strange. I
manipulation.
was
Yeah, I think someone hacked your watch and then it just went away.
God, that EJ pairs annoying me, man. It's annoying me.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. Okay. What kind of strategy works best for prop fund, better RR, or more wins? Okay. So I think that's an interesting question because he's asking what's the best strategy that works best for like uh as like risk reward, or is it more wins? I think he's picking between the two. Is it risk reward more important or your winning percentage? I think that's what he's trying to ask. So what's your take on it?
In my opinion, it's risk to reward, because if you have that one trade that makes 5 to 10%, you have passed. So I think it's better to focus on getting that 1 or 2 great trades with a few small losses than grinding it out with a lot of trades but a good win rate. So for me, I'm choosing risk to reward, but it can be done with both. As we can see from the FTMO interviews, some people trade with a huge win rate, some trade with a 30% win rate, and they both passed. So you just need to pick what you like better.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, those with a very high win rate tend to be scalpers.
Yeah.
They tend to get in, get out of the market, get that like small amount of profit. They may risk a really low percentage and they just keep getting that, right? But there are pros and cons with both. Swing trading, less time on the charts, less trades placed. Scalping, you may have to place many trades, but psychologically, Marko and I are dealing with lower win rates than maybe a scalper.
For
So
sure.
each strategy has its pros and cons. So kind of had to see what works for you. But for me personally, I prefer having a good risk to reward ratio.
Yeah. Guys, where do you see yourself in the next 10 years in the trading industry? That is from Typhus Messinamela. Yeah. I think I got the name right.
Messi.
Messi. So where do you see yourself in the next 10 years? So in the trading industry.
Ooh, that's a big question.
Yeah, it is
It's a
tough to answer.
big question.
Yeah.
So 10 years time, I'd want to be maybe running my own fund, right? And personally be trading 8 figures. It's quite ambitious, but I feel as if it can be possible to do that in 10 years.
Yeah, 10 years is a lot of time. So
10 years, yeah.
Yeah.
Short term for me, it's just like getting that max allocation on, all the prop firms that can be trusted. That's my short-term goal. And then later on, get private investment and then have my own fund. I think that would be quite interesting.
So for me, in the next 10 years, I do want to have an 8-figure trading account, same as you. And I do want to be trading private capital. And I do want to establish like a coaching service, one-on-one coaching, or some sort of education, or maybe opening like a small firm and then having traders trade with me or something like that. So
yeah, that'd be sick.
Yeah,
I think
awesome.
I think right now we're quite teachable. I think we'll always be teachable, but we're learning a strategy, trying to master everything, like our emotions, the strategy. But I think we can both safely say in 10 years' time we'd want something of our own as well.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'll be 10 years' time, I'd be 33. How old would you be? You'd be
so 10 years time I will be 33. Yeah.
Oh, you're 23 as well? Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're 23 also. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah.
When's your birthday?
It's the 6th of October.
Oh, okay. I'm 21st of March.
You're in
So
March.
I'm older than you.
You're a bit older, yeah. To be honest, I thought you were like 26, 27. I thought you were a bit older.
Really?
Yeah, because you're already living with your fiance and you already have like an established life. So I thought you were a bit older. Yeah.
Everyone tells me like I'm doing shit so fast.
Yeah. No, but you're going at your own pace.
Yeah.
It's your own journey. So you do
Stay
what
in your own lane.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But that's awesome. You're also 23. That's freaking awesome, dude.
What do you do when you are in a losing streak in a funding challenge? He wrote finding challenge, but I'm presuming it's funded challenge. The funding
Yeah,
challenge.
I think
Yeah,
it's the funding challenge. Yeah.
yeah.
So what do you do in a losing streak? For me personally, you just stick through it. If you end up losing the challenge, take another one next month. I mean, it's part of the
Yeah.
game. You're not going to be able to pass it every month, especially if you're a beginner. So suck it up, take the loss, and start a new one next month.
Yeah. I agree. Like this challenge right now, I took a challenge start of the month. I'm currently down 5%. Um, I probably will be increasing my risk just because I have a couple of days, may increase it to 2%, try and get the break even. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I'll reflect on the month. I'll compare my trades with the mentors, see any adjustments that need to be made, and I'll just be better for the next month. And if it doesn't happen again, it's fine. It's not, the market does its thing, right? You don't
Of
control the
course.
markets. So
Yeah,
um,
the conditions are always changing, so you need to be prepared. Trader Alden asks how to find the holy grail of trading.
oh, then he's also in our accountability group.
Yeah, he's also with us in our group.
The Holy Grail, how do you find it? So you find the secret map, and then you find the secret treasure, and in that treasure, you find the Holy Grail.
Yeah. Or you search for on Instagram for Holy Grail trading strategies. You buy a course,
That's
and
probably
then
easier.
you'll be rich for the rest of your life. That's the key.
No, in my opinion, there's no Holy Grail strategy. Like actually, Marko made a video on it, and if you
Yeah.
haven't watched it, make sure to watch it. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Thank you
just
for
my
the
take on
show.
it. I don't know. I think people anyway go watch it. But yeah, I don't think there's any holy. No, I don't think. I know there's no Holy Grail strategy. Like
Yeah,
each
it doesn't
strategy,
exist.
each strategy may have a higher win rate, make good percentage, but realistically, there's no Holy Grail strategy where you place a trade, you'll always get 10R every single trade. You won't lose a trade. There's nothing like that. I thought that was actually the case in the beginning of my trading journey. Though.
Yeah, me too. In the beginning of my journey, I was trying to find like, okay, where do I buy? Where do I sell? How do I get zero losses and just have wins all the time? But it's impossible. It just doesn't exist. And each strategy is very similar to other strategies. They all make sort of the same amount of percentage, and you will always have losses. So losses are just a part of the game, and as soon as you accept it, you will be much better off. So I think that it just doesn't exist. You need to find one that you like, find a strategy you like, stick to it, and learn it, master it, and trade it. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay, this is a quick question, so I'll just be quick. What's the monthly percentage gain? So yeah, well, what's your take on that, Marco?
Well, when I combine the whole year and then divide it by 12, it's around 5 to 10% per month. So when you combine all of the months in a year, it's 5 to 10% per month. But again, some months are 25%, some months are down 3%, some months are only let's say 5% profit. So it's very, very different each month. But when you combine it, the average is 5 to 10% for me personally.
Yeah, I'm completely the same. Like I take it more on an average basis. I don't take it on kind of the like an average of the year. That's how I take it. I don't take it
Yeah.
on a monthly basis, kind of as per se, just because it's very variable. Like one month, as you know, one month can be 33%, like last month. And then this month can be kind of the way it is. So, but on average, it tends to be 5 to 10%. So, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
completely the same. How do you deal with losing streaks?
So losing streaks, Well, they can be really tough. What you can do is you can backtest the trading period where you took the losing streaks, and you can see if they actually fit your plan or did your emotions come into play. And if they actually did fit your plan, then you can be happy because you know that the wins will eventually come, and that's just part of the game. And if you took some trades that actually did not fit your plan, then you need to go and look why you did that, what emotions came into play. You need to backtest a bit more. You need to do a bit more market research. And that is the best way to deal with a losing streak, to see if it actually is a part of your plan or if it's not. What's your opinion on this?
Yeah, like just spot on. Like losing streaks are normal, but just because it's normal doesn't mean you could be doing something wrong, you know. So I think backtesting that same period and seeing it if everything fit your plan, if you would have done the same thing again and again and again, I think that's key. Because sometimes you may take, let's say, 4 trades in a row that were losses, but realistically you backtest it again, and two of the trades you wouldn't take. So then you have to ask yourself, why did you take those 2 trades? Was it because of emotion? Were you tired? Were you trying to deviate from the plan? So yeah, backtesting that period and seeing if you would take those losing trades again, I think that's really key. But yeah, dealing with losing streaks, just understand it's just part of the game, you know. Yeah. Don't beat yourself up too much about it. Losing streaks are very normal. The best traders on the planet will take losing streaks. So.
Yeah. How to identify ranges? I'm still getting caught in them. That is Zenit Sat Traders asks. So how to identify ranges?
Okay. So just because we trade a certain way, how we trade is if we see highs and lows breaking, we may see lots of wicks. Then these are kind of signs that ranges can occur. So with the strategy we trade, we can kind of identify that ranges would most likely happen because of the price action we're seeing. Doesn't mean it has to happen, but we can identify that it's most likely can happen. So highs and lows breaking shows that, you know, there's no clear trend. So ranges can occur. Or lots of wicks shows volatility. V-shaped price action shows that a range is going to occur. So yeah, that's my take. So what's your opinion?
See the huge wicks to the upside, huge wicks to the downside, and you see like a flat sort of formation. But the best way to get it in your head is to backtest. Just backtest a lot of data, and then it will just naturally pop into your head. So you need to do a lot of backtesting. That's the best way to get it in your head.
I agree. Yeah. Backtesting, seeing why ranges are occurring in the market, whatever time frames you're trading, multi-time frame analysis. I think look on the charts, see where the ranges are happening, and then see what's happening before those ranges. And then you can see kind of a characteristic on why these ranges are happening. So that can help with identifying ranges.
Yeah. Easy702 asks, how can one speed up their learning in terms of Forex and learning a strategy?
All right. I've been trading for nearly 3 years now. And probably for the past year, from a year and a bit ago, is when my growth started to really happen. Maybe not even a year and a bit ago. I'll probably say 6 or 7 months ago. And I think key factors for that is 1, pay for your education. Like, I do think you can learn online for free, YouTube, that, like, you know, you can go to ICT and learn free YouTube. That is possible. However, having proper guidance, having proper structure can save you a lot of time. Then also for me, what made me grow really fast is really watching those. So we have trade recaps in Guerrilla Trading where the mentor goes over every single trade he's taken throughout the week. So I watch them very, very closely. Any notes, any not notes, anything he says, I'll like jot down and I'll put that into my trading. And because I'm learning from the mentor himself directly, and I know I'm learning how he trades, and I'm not trying to figure it out for myself every single little thing. My growth is growing and growing and growing, and the gap between him and I is slowly shrinking. So yeah, I think having a good mentor, good community, good structure, and obviously putting in the work every single day, finding time, being consistent on the charts. You know, if you're working one day, let's say Tuesday, on the charts, and then you don't look at it again until the next Tuesday, your head is will kind of have to relearn it again.
Yeah.
But I can probably, like for me personally, I'm looking at the charts every single day. So when I see something on the charts, it's kind of like a reflex now that, okay, I need to see this. I need to see this. So yeah, trading is like a language, you know, you can't just learn a language in one day. You need to like learn it every single day. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's my take.
Yeah, I would totally agree with you. I would say pick a mentor, do exactly what he does for at least 2 to 3 years. Watch his videos, try to completely mimic him, like become the exact same trader as him. So just mirror him as much as you can for at least 2 to 3 years, and that's the fastest way to actually become consistent and profitable. So pick a mentor and follow him very closely. That's my advice. Is the same
Yeah.
as you said. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think something's really key is that don't just do something because the mentor says it. I think then you're kind of in the mercy of your mentor and you don't become the asset, just the asset, you know. You should take what he says and then like you said it, I think on the previous trade recap, like you take what he says and then backtest it or see why it's working and why it would work better. So
Oh yeah, for
yeah,
sure. You
yeah.
need to
I
confirm.
think
You need to confirm
yeah,
that what he is doing suits you and that it actually works. Otherwise, you will just follow him blindly, and that is not the smartest way. So
yeah.
you need to learn and then confirm through your back testing that it actually does work for you. Yeah.
Because yeah, I actually do have this. I'm probably drifting away from the question, but I do have this like thing in my head. Joshua may go on a holiday for a year, and then he doesn't upload trade recaps.
Yeah.
Then what the hell do you do,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you also have to learn to become the asset yourself. So I think there is a line, but yeah, I think what we both said. You know, learn from a mentor, um,
Yeah. I
join a
think
community. Yeah,
through the process of following the mentor and then backtesting what you learned, through those 2 to 3 years, you will become the asset and you will be able to move away from the mentor. But you need him to learn. Like he has already gone through the struggles and all of the stuff that you need to go through. So he has already done everything that you need to do. So it's best to listen to his advice because he knows how to do it in the quickest way possible. So I think that's it for the Q&A. So we will do the rest of the questions
100%.
next week. Thank you guys for the awesome questions. They were really, really great.
I didn't think we would get as many questions as we did. So I think we both really appreciate the support that
Yeah,
everyone's showing. And, you know, I think everyone just wants to level up in their trading, right? So
yeah,
uh,
for sure.
hopefully this segment is something you want to see every single week. So let us know in the comment section down below if you want to see this Q&A segment every single
Yeah.
week. All right, so I will start with AU, and on this pair, I took no trades. Marko, do you take any trades for this pair?
So on AU, I stayed out of everything for this week. It was
Yeah,
heavily range bound.
very shitty ass market conditions. So you can see we're kind of just sitting in this large range. And at the top of that range, we can see a bit of a ascending nature, showing no signs of real commitment. But yeah, I'll just quickly go over this week. So yeah, we broke out of this range. potential liquidity area above, no momentum. We got more of a range, and we kind of can see that we are descending into an ascending range. Then we saw a bit of commitment, and I think we both got a bit excited, but then we had this double wicks, and when you see double wicks and a retrace, we can tend to see a reversal, and that's kind of what we saw. We saw a very large range between the high and the low, potential liquidity areas above, and we broke out of the range, and we saw no commitment. So currently we're seeing an ascending nature. Some could argue we're in a large ascending within a smaller ascending. But for me, I'm a bit more cautious just because of what's happening within the range. We broke the highs and then we broke the lows, and it's not the cleanest. And we had this bit of impulse out. And if you're just looking at what's happening outside of the range, whoops, we broke the high, and then we had this ascending. So for me, I'm going to forecast right now. So if we got this bullet entry, I personally wouldn't take it, just because I want to see more commitment to the downside. And also, Monday mornings, we can most likely see a bit of a range. And if we see that, basically we have liquidity areas above and below. So it's even more of a reason to be more careful in the market. So this could easily happen. So I wouldn't take the initial continuation. What I would be looking for is clear commitment down. We have a nice flag to the upside or downside. Let me correct this. Yep, upside or downside. Don't know why it's doing that. All right, yeah. That, or if we get a push up, we're seeing clear momentum, retrace, push up, I'd be happy to look for the continuation bullet. Would I look for the initial continuation bullet to the upside? Depending what happens here. If we have a large push up immediately, would I take the initial continuation bullet? On my challenge account, I will, just because I want to get above the break even. But on the challenge account, I won't, just because, not on the challenge account, sorry, on the funded account, I won't, because on Monday mornings, I'm most likely going to be staying out of trades. So yeah, what's your take, Marko?
Yeah, I do.
Oh,
agree
and
with you.
also, I didn't forecast the last part. If we get a bit more of an ascending, I will look for that. Yeah, that reversal bullet.
Yeah, I do agree with you. And the price action has been very range bound. I was looking at a trade at this point where we got this impulse. I wanted to see another push up for it to start a trend, but it just broke. It just broke and retraced. So for me personally, the only setup that I'm looking for is, as you said, a large push up or a large push down, or maybe I would also consider taking this sort of a setup where we get more of this ascending structure, something like this.
Yeah.
And then we reverse to the downside. So exactly my thoughts, and the current price action is not looking that good. It doesn't look clean.
Yeah, it's not the cleanest price action right now, but as we both said on the previous recap, we're actually, could argue we have this larger ascending on the grand scheme of things. So we could see a larger push down that could easily happen.
Yep.
And longer the accumulation, bigger the distribution. So we could be in for some good moves next month. So in the month of June. So
yeah, we need to wait for that evidence.
100%. Need to wait for the evidence. Can't rush into trades. Unless you're in the last couple of days of your challenge and you need to get above break even. Besides that. Yeah. All right, so that's AU. I'm going to move on to EJ. So,
Yep.
alrighty, so we're on EJ, and yep, as you can see, we're in this big range. So, very range bound. I didn't take any trades. However, there was a trade that I did want to take, which I'll just quickly go over. But I'm just going to go over the price action here. So, yeah, in this range, we started to see a bit of a push up. And at this point over here, if we had a clean candle, I would have set my order. But we didn't get that. We just got a break and retrace. Then we went into this descending nature. And something I really did like about this trade that I did miss is that we have a large ascending within a smaller descending. So you can see that even within the range, right, we're breaking highs, retracing, breaking highs, retracing, breaking lows, retracing, breaking lows, retracing. And we have a smaller descending within a larger descending. So when we have that, that's quite high probability. And the entry was at, whoops, the entry was at this point, this inside bar. So Marco, you did get in this trade, right? At this point?
Yeah, I did manage to catch it at that candle. Yep.
Yeah. And you set it on the line, right? Because
I
one
set it
candle
on the
breaks.
line. That's a rule. If it's a one candle break, I'll put it on the line.
Yeah. And I think for both of us, that wick wasn't too much of a problem just because of where we're coming from. And on this pair, wicks are very common. So
yeah, because it's a high probability setup and it's EJ, wicks are expected. So I was happy. I was happy with it.
yeah. So yeah, that's a trade. You banked around 1%, right? If I'm not mistaken, you would
Yeah,
have
a little bit less, around 1%.
1%. So this would have been 12 pips, I think, with both of us.
Yeah.
And then you would have been, oh, that's a short position I put.
Yeah.
Don't know what's happening with my clicking. All right. This is 12 pips. And then you would have got stopped out maybe around here, 0.81 or so.
Yeah, around that percentage.
Yeah. But yeah, very high probability trade. I think, yeah, take that over and over again. Yeah.
And it was running 6% in profit. Like
Yeah,
at this
that's
point,
another thing,
yeah, at this point it was running in profit very much. So.
Yeah, so for me, my objective last week was just to get above break even and get the retry. So when I did miss this trade and I saw it running, in that kind of percentage, I would have been able to close the trade and remain above break even, because around 6.72% it reached. So yeah, it's a bit annoying, but that's what happens in trading, right? You can't, some things happen, watches fall off the wrists all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll move on to the forecast part now. So, yep. So we had this ascending nature, and what I did like about this initially was we took out this liquidity. So, with the range, you have liquidity areas potentially above and below. We took it out with this wick pushed down. So I was looking at getting into continuations. If it retraced and broke this, I would have found that as a very high probability, but we didn't get that. We had an aggressive retrace with this candle, taking out this high and this high. So when we have aggressive retraces, especially on this pair, I expect a larger range. So this could easily happen. What else could happen is that because it's EJ, we could see this ascending nature and then a push up. So we've broken this high, retraced. So this could happen. And then we could see it shoot off, in which I'd be looking for the bomb. Also, if it shoots off like this, I'd look for a continuation bullet. I'd be happy to take that entry. What else? If it does continue to ascend, obviously, I'll be looking for that reversal bullet. And then also same thing to the downside, short bomb. And then if we get that push down, retrace, push down, I'd look for that continuation bullet. So what's your take?
Yeah, I see it exactly as you. So current price action is looking bad. It's not looking good. We are a range bound, and we have wicks everywhere, wicks here, huge wicks. And that usually signals to us to be more patient and that more ranging price action will happen. So I would definitely just wait for a large impulse up, as you said, here or here, and then wait for some sort of a continuation move or maybe a reversal. But currently, I think we're stuck in this sort of flat range. So I would
Yeah.
say wait for the price to move away from this structure.
And something, yeah, 100%. And something Joshua always says is that some months are very quiet, but you know, with these ranges, you got to be ready for the next period of trading because, you know, he was saying that expansions are most likely going to happen if ranges are happening like this. So,
Yep.
make sure to be ready for the markets. Just because it's being range bound right now doesn't mean you can keep, you know, chilling. You got to be ready for the market, do your forecasts,
Yeah.
and so on. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so that's been done, and we're going to move on to Marko's segment of the trade recap.
So let's now take a look at the euro US dollar. What I'm seeing on this pair, it's looking much cleaner than the other pairs. So the overall price action is looking much better, and the formations are looking, as I said, much cleaner. As for example, we had this ascending structure right about here, and we also had this ascending structure, and they all formed really good. There were no large wicks, no choppy price action. So what that tells me is that we can expect some nice moves. I did not take any trades because all of the pullbacks were kind of aggressive. As you can see here, for example, this pullback was aggressive. This one was very aggressive. So I stayed out of every trade, and this one also very aggressive. But what I am looking for on Monday is I want to see a large push up and then maybe a flag, or a large push down, also a flag. What I would really like to see is for this momentum to continue, to get that large push, and then, as I said, a flag, or maybe another push, then a break and a retest trade. But what I am expecting is, because we got this V reversal, I am actually expecting to see more of a range, to be honest. But when we do break out, when we break the low or the high, I am looking for also a descending structure and then a reversal to the upside, or an ascending structure like this, and then a nice reversal down. So those are some of the things to watch out for. But if you want to focus on one pair, focus on EU. It's looking the best out of all of the four pairs. What's your take on this, Sean?
So yeah, this clean ascending is really nice. It did create a V, and yeah, there was a period in my trading I did, you know, look at the characteristics of EU, and it's very similar to EJ, right? Like in the way, like some of the characteristics.
It is, but you need to be a bit more careful with taking entries. You really need
Yeah,
to see a high probability setup. EU is
yeah,
like the you need to be the most careful with EU, I would say.
yeah, 100%. Only reason I said that is because I think I do know that it does like to ascend and shoot off as well. So yeah, I'd want to look at that. Well, I'm not trading it, but I could see that maybe potentially happening if we ascend and then push off. But yeah, as you said, I think that's a high probability trade there. And if you could zoom out, if you can look at the grand scheme of things,
Yeah.
yeah, it looks like we're, you know, reaching high levels, you know, high price levels. So we can see a push down for sure. So let me get rid of that. Sorry.
Yeah, the overall picture is looking a bit ascending. So same as on AU, we can expect maybe a nice trend to start to the downside. So in conclusion, I would say definitely see if this push down will continue and if a trend will start. That's your best bet to look for a short trade. So yeah, shall we move on to the next one?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. And now for the Aussie Japanese yen. So when we zoom out a bit, it looks like pure crap, I have to say. We have huge wicks. Yeah, it's just very, very wicky. We have huge wicks here, 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 huge wicks to the downside, and it's looking very, very range bound. But the most recent price action is looking a bit better. It is starting to clean up. I can see a nice ascending start. So breaking the highs, retracing, breaking the highs, retracing, breaking the highs, retracing all the way up. So what I would really like to see is a nice reversal to the downside and then a continuation pattern. So either a flag or a break and a retest trade. Or I would like to see for it to impulse up, give me also a nice flag. We can get more of this ascending structure. That would be even higher probability. Since then I would see a smaller ascending inside of this larger ascending. Or if we do start to descend, I would be a bit more careful. There are two reasons why I would be a bit more careful. First one is when we get an ascending going into a descending channel, it usually tends to give us more range-bound price action, which we want to avoid. And the second reason is reversals usually tend to fail on the Aussie Japanese yen. So I would not look for a reversal because those are two warning signs, and I would be a bit more patient in that particular case. But in conclusion, overall price action looks like pure crap, but the most recent price action looks good. And if this sort of price action continues, I would be looking for a trade. What's your opinion?
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. Would you not be looking for the reversal bullet?
So you mean something like this?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. I would be looking also for a bullet. I call it just so it's a break and a retest, and it depends if we reach the area in an ascending fashion or if we just reach the area with one candle and then get tagged in. So I'm looking for both, definitely.
Right. Got it. Yeah, but yeah, as you said, you gotta be very careful if it ascends and descends. You know, that's very range-bound price action, right? So depending how we break that descending nature that could potentially form, I think, yeah, you gotta be careful, especially in these market conditions.
Yep.
Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed another trade recap and forecast and Q&A with Marko and I. Make sure, to stay tuned for this. We're dropping a lot of golden nuggets, and any questions that you do have, obviously for the next week's Q&A, we have some leftover questions, but we'll probably be putting more Q&A kind of questions that you can, questions that you can ask on Instagram later on in the future. So ask your questions. We just want to answer them and help you guys in any way or form. Any last thoughts, Marko?
So yeah, I just want to thank everyone for the questions, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Tune in the next week. We will be doing another forecast, and just be a bit more patient. So yeah, that's it from me.
Good advice. Got to be patient. Don't rush trades.
Yep.
Yeah, 100% agree. So yeah, we'll see you guys in next week's trade recap and forecast and Q&A video.
See you guys.
And trade safe.